Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Dennis Allen today after practice talked about Bryan Bresee, the first-round draft pick. And this is exciting, man. It's a position that the Saints needed to address. They did with their first overall pick. They got a guy that you feel like they got great value, that but for some of the issues he had, injuries and a personal situation with the passing of his sister, probably is a top half of round one guy, but you feel like the Saints got great value. And so far, according to the head coach, so good on Bryan Bresee.
Overall, I've been impressed with him in terms of his explosiveness, his quick twitch. There's some suddenness inside, some pass rush ability inside that, I don't know that we've had, in terms of the way that we've had some great power rushers, but I don't know that we've had the suddenness, the burst, the twitch, some of those things that we have.
I mean, he's that dude. We all know Bryan Bresee was the number one overall player in the country when he was coming out of high school, went to Clemson at a time where Clemson was, playing for the national championship, every year, 1 to 2 out of 3 years. And just ran into some roadblocks, man. A guy who would never really be. He's Mason Smith. I mean, it's the best comp. He's Mason Smith. This big freak show that everybody wanted and was never injured in his career, had a knee injury, cost him a season. It was just disappointing. But as a result, the Saints were able to get a guy they think they got great value. Now, Bresee, first and foremost, because everybody's wondering, considering some of the injuries he had in college, how does he feel? And Bresee said no issues whatsoever.
I feel, healthy, really healthy right now. And, it's been a while since I felt really, really healthy. So, it feels great. So, yeah, I feel fast, just feel good.
And then it was also, because that is such a position of need, the Saints lost all of their interior players into free agency. Of course, they signed 2 players in free agency. And you draft Bresee where they did, the expectation he needs to go play immediately. He asked if there's pressure there to do just that.
I wouldn't say pressure, just kind of, I think I put more pressure on myself than anything from the outside, just to, live up to what, I have in mind for myself rather than, outside pressure and that kind of stuff. So, I think a lot of it just kind of comes from inside for me.
So one more, by the way, and I do think this matters. And I think, I really think the fact that the head coach is a defensive guy who's been a defensive coordinator will help the acceleration of that growth and development and understanding of the defense. Bresee was asked how comfortable he is in the defense, considering, remember, you had rookie minicamp, you had OTAs, you had minicamp, and now you're into training camp. So at this point, how comfortable is he with what they're asking him to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this level you kind of, have to rely on technique. So it can't really be as much instinct as maybe beforehand in my career. So, just learning the defense is obviously very, very important. Every little step matters on the D-line. Everything happens so quick. So just trying to really understand it. Once you kind of understand where everyone's coming from, what's going on, that can kind of really help slow the game down and give you a better understanding of what to expect. And so that's been a big part of just kind of what I've been trying to focus in on in this camp, just, really understanding the defense and really working on my technique.
If you want something measurable to say, okay, what is realistic for Bryan Bresee in year one, look at the last time the Saints drafted an interior defensive lineman in round one, and it was Sheldon Rankins. Now, they took Rankins at a higher spot than they did Bresee, but Rankins in year one played just 9 games. Played just 9 games due to injury. But in his second year, when he was healthy, Rankins played the full 16 games at the time, and in that season ended up with 26 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. The Saints aren't, the way their defense is structured, they're going to look at Demario Davis and Pete Werner as guys they expect to be 120 tackle guys. They don't need Bryan Bresee to have 90 tackles from the interior of this defense. What you need is to be disruptive and to eat up blocks to free up Davis and Werner to go make plays. So I look at what Rankins did in 2017, his first full season. It was year 2, but it was when he was healthy. And I say that's a really good target for Bryan Bresee. Can he play a full season? Most importantly, stay healthy, play a full season. Can you give me 30 tackles, 5 TFLs, a couple of sacks, and free up Demario Davis and Pete Werner to have a great season, and you know that Foskey and Jordan and Granderson are the guys that are going to bend the edge and probably make the TFLs and put up the big sack total. But that's more what I'd say I'd look for as a realistic year one expectation for Bryan Bresee. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.